Who straps a jet engine to a crop duster and expects it to work? That's just number 10 on a countdown of the ugliest planes ever built, where flying barrels, squashed eggs, and airborne sheds only get stranger from here. The Polish-built PZL M-15 Belphegor answered that question with a deafening roar. Engineered in the 1970s for Soviet collective farms, this biplane crop duster paired agricultural equipment with a screaming rear-mounted jet engine. The result was a bizarre double-wing silhouette resembling a flying locomotive. Ground crews, overwhelmed by the 115 decibels of noise and sluggish performance, named it after a demon of sloth. Its extreme fuel consumption quickly grounded the project after only a handful entered service. If the Belphegor looked demonic, the next contender looked permanently astonished. The Boeing X-32 entered the early 2000s Joint Strike Fighter competition with a comically oversized, gaping lower lip air intake. This wide-mouthed smile was a compromise, designed to feed a massive turbofan while keeping the stealth body simple and affordable. Unfortunately, the gaping face caused performance issues at high angles of attack, costing Boeing the contract. To haul Saturn V rocket stages that could not travel by road, Aero Spacelines literally sliced retired Boeing Stratocruisers in half. They welded on a giant balloon-like upper hull, creating the pregnant Guppy and Super Guppy. These bloated, airborne whales prioritize sheer cargo volume over every law of aesthetic grace, allowing NASA and Airbus to transport components that no other aircraft could swallow. In Australia, agricultural utility bred a different kind of distortion. The Transavia PL-12 air truck looked completely disjointed, featuring a short cockpit pod perched high above the engine, flanked by twin tail booms. Yet this wildly confusing arrangement had a practical mission. It gave crop dusting pilots unobstructed field visibility while keeping the chemical hopper isolated behind them, ensuring safety during hazardous low-level spraying. Northern Ireland's short SC-7 Skyvan took the concept of utility to its absolute limit. Nicknamed the Flying Shed, this twin-engine transport was a giant boxy rectangle with wings attached. Designers paid zero attention to elegance. They needed to create as much internal cargo space as possible, resulting in slab-sided walls that resembled a metal shipping container with a cockpit. While the Skyvan was a box built around empty space, the McDonnell XF-85 Goblin was built around a tight military squeeze. Conceived during the Cold War as a parasite fighter, it had to fit entirely inside the bomb bay of a B-36 bomber. To make this work, engineers compressed the jet into a tiny squashed wing-folding egg. Every awkward proportion was dictated by the steel walls of the bomber's belly. The British Aerospace Nimrod AEW-3 carried a visual distortion that directly mirrored a failing military program. Originally a sleek maritime patrol jet, this Cold War early warning platform was modified to carry advanced radar. Engineers grafted massive bulbous radomes onto both the nose and the tail to house the scanning antennas. This double-ended growth completely ruined the aircraft's original silhouette. The awkward exterior reflected severe internal strain. Power demands overheated the cabin, and the processing computers regularly crashed during flight tests. After spending nearly £1 billion, Britain cancelled the troubled program in 1986 without a single Nimrod entering service. In 1932, Italian designer Luigi Stipa built the Stipa Caproni, a machine that looked like a giant wooden flying barrel. The pilot sat perched directly on top of a massive hollow tube, which housed both the engine and the propeller inside. Stipa believed this venturi-shaped fuselage would compress and accelerate airflow, boosting engine efficiency. While it proved highly stable, the enormous drag limited its top speed to just 81 miles per hour. A similar pursuit of specialized utility later shaped the Edgeley Optica. Resembling a bug-eyed dragonfly or a helicopter with fixed wings, its cartoonish cabin featured a fully glazed forward bubble. This bizarre design arose entirely from its mission as a low-speed observation platform, giving pilots an unobstructed, panoramic view of the ground below. The Britten-Norman Triclender takes the top spot. Designed in 1970 to carry 14 passengers from short, unpaved island runways, this British commuter aircraft needed extra power. Instead of redesigning the wing, engineers simply bolted a third propeller engine directly onto the vertical tail stabilizer. The layout resembled a leftover power plant hastily glued to the top of the tail. This bizarre arrangement solved the runway problem, but it gave the Triclender a highly awkward, top-heavy silhouette. It stands as the ultimate example of raw utility, completely overriding conventional aviation form. In flight, utility always trumps beauty. As engineering pushes future boundaries, expect even stranger shapes. Which of these 10 machines do you think is the absolute worst looking?